Edward here from erviewer.com. I have another video for you. I'm continuing on with this project for this strange kind of rumbling sensation that I felt on November 9th. Some kind of what I feel is some type of communication or broadcast or signal, something that was vibrating through the whatever, and I somehow began to feel some weird sensation and decided to bring that into a remote viewing session. And again, these are long-term CRV style sessions, so they are longer, pen and paper. And I wanted to do that to go deep as I can go into these sensations and these perceptions, and see what might be coming out. Very strange. This has been one of the most interesting and bizarre projects that I've ever come up with and explored, because it really feels like something is going on. In this one, I wanted to go a little further into this communication idea, because that's what is interesting to me. If something is communicating with me or communicating, then I'm very curious about that. What I was experiencing in this session was that the communication was there was a different element, like a third element to what I was picking up, like some type of organism, and the breach a communication element, and then a different type of communication, like an alarm or like a coded, sophisticated coded communication. It was like a third element to it. So not just like a breach alarm broadcast, but this was more like a sophisticated coded type of communication. But this one felt like it had to do with locations as well, and just a lot of strange stuff. So what I was experiencing were like these kind of organisms, fleshy, soft organisms that they're moving. They are sophisticated in themselves, but not like I didn't get the sense that these organisms were communicating with me or anything like that. The communication that I felt that I was experiencing in this session was more like some kind of broadcast that humans were sending out in regards to these organisms that may be in these different areas. So some of the things that I was experiencing were some of the areas where these organisms may be in regard to like a command center or something like that. I got this building near a body of water, sending out some type of code. I got but that it's networked with other buildings, so there's a network of these facilities that are communicating with each other in regards to this organism, which feels like again like maybe a bacteria, maybe a virus. I know there's like the plague thing going around. I don't know if this is the same thing, but this feels very big. It feels like there's really something going on here. At the end, I did get some idea of somebody at a platform giving some type of talk. We'll see if that comes to fruition maybe in the future. Very strange. I'm not done yet with this. There's still something nagging at me. Something is loaded in my cognitrons, and I'm trying to get it out. There's something to this. There's something going on, I feel, and it's still calling to me and wanting to get out, wanting to get expressed. So I may do another session on this today. I probably will, just to get more of this out. But that's where I'm at with this so far. Hope you find this interesting. I hope it's nothing too major. But all I'm doing is expressing what I'm perceiving. So if you find that interesting, that's cool. Stay tuned. Many more to come. this is my continuation of Project 8587. The original task to describe the origin of the rumbling / shaking feeling I experienced the morning of November 9, 2017. What I am interested in is what I have experienced as a communication of some kind. What I'm going to attempt to get to in this session is into the ideas of why am I detecting this communication and describe the language of the communication. So I'm going to attempt to get to a place where I could actually explore these ideas. Eight, 5, 8, 7. A diagonal. Curving over. Soft, moist, biological. Eight, 5, 8, 7. A curving, angle, across, energetic, moving. I'll call my beat energetic. Eight, 5, 8, 7. Curving. Across. Curving. I'm kind of getting into some stage 2, so flowing. Again, this feels energetic, also feels liquid. Forceful. Forceful. Black. Green. Smoky. Smoky. Long. Dense. Smooth. Vertical. And this is, I'm going to go an AOL break on this. Side by side with an image of like these two things next to each other. Sloping. green. I'm getting another AOL. Oh man, I just lost it. What was it? Like recycling. There was a different word, but it was along those lines. Creeping, slow moving. Another AOL break. Window. What else? Textures. Soft. Smooth. Fleshy. Fleshy. Flexible. Moist. Kind of rubbery. Blue, pink, yellow, flat, curved, down, inside, close, looping, fresh, long, bright, dense, that's a nice flow of stage 2s. Green, yellow, flat. This is an idea here. Bouncing. Bouncing, moving, energetic. There's a lot of movement here, like rhythmic, flat. AOL break here. Toast. Bouncing, jittering, moving forward. This is kind of an idea. I'm kind of getting some ideas here. I feel an AI is coming through, but I need to do a drawing as well. Like the idea here is top heavy. Top heavy. That's the idea. Like a drooping. This is kind of an idea. Lumped. Over. Gooping. Gooping or viscous. I can't spell, so. Again, my AI is, again, just curiosity taking over here. Let me try to get some idea of what, because it feels kind of fleshy. Spongy, fleshy, soft. Like it's drooping over an edge. Like that, you know, it's drooping over, or it's like it's moving. And it reminds me of a snail crawling, slowly crawling. Dripping. Like feels like an organism. Like an organism. Moving. I'm getting this biological feeling of some type of a living organism. Very strange. Sensory just got some tangibles coming through. Organism, parasites, virus. These might be AWOLs of the signal here. Parasite, virus. Biological living, tissue. Shit, I can't spell. Tissue. I can't spell. You know, like flesh, like a skin. Like a skin. This is some idea word coming in here. Overhaul. I don't know what that means. Fleshy. Some sensories here. Goopy. Goopy. Able to signal this like worms. Very, very strange. Microorganisms. Microorganisms. Where does the communication come in though? Moves to the communication and describes. I'm not picking up anything or perceiving anything specifically from these organisms in relation to a communication. The communication feels separate. Feels separate from the organisms. These feel like two different things. They feel like they're separate. I can't spell, man. That's a good sign. They feel like they're separate. Like, there is a signal / communication, and there are the organisms. They feel separate. feel separate, meaning that the organisms are not. This is, let me stage 4.5 this. The organisms are not broadcasting the signal slash communication. That's my perception. Like, these things are not sending out some communique. They're doing something else. They're these feel like a bacteria or a virus, a parasite, what else? A worm, worms, something like that. Some type of microorganism. What is the communication? What is the communication? What is the Okay, I'm getting this feeling. I'm going to stage 4.5 this as well. This is an idea. The sophistication, I cannot spell. Oh my God. Sophistication of the signal slash communication, meaning that there's a sophistication to the signal or the broadcast or the communication, the rumbling that I felt. It's sophisticated. It's like it's scheduled. It's on a schedule. Like the organisms are just living, and the signal communication is on a schedule or a program. Schedule or program. Dimensions, AI, AOL. Of the signal, like the communication is on a program or a schedule. The two feel. It's like the signal is here. These guys are over here. Now there's a feeling here too. There's something about this. There's something about this. There's something about this. The signal is here. Organisms are here. Signals are here. Organisms are here. Like they're in, like, again, stage 4.5. They are in different areas. It's like part of a network. Part of a network. Very sophisticated. I can't specify. Ah man, I can't spell. A sophisticated network. Very timed. Very timed. Timed for release. What about the breach though? I don't understand. This is like a separate. This feels separate from the breach. Is it separate? This feels like a total. This feels like a third element. Third element. This feels separate from those two. From the idea of breach, and it feels separate from these organisms. What's so different about this? What's so different about that? It's like a like an alarm system going off. It's like an alarm system that's going off. This feels different. In a different location. In a different location. Different location. This feels like this separate, like the breach alarm goes off. Now this scheduled broadcast or alarm goes off, because this feels different than the breach communication. This is like an alarm going off in a different location. I'm getting a sensation of near water. Near water. Building. water. Building near water. Sensory dimensions, AI, AOL, the signal. Something about that too. There's I don't know if this representation, this building may be a little further from water. How are these things connected? How are these things connected? There's more ideas here. Chain reaction. Chain reaction. I'm getting this idea of these buildings here network together. Like a network of facilities. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. What does that mean? This whole, I gotta get this. This is like an AI. This is my AI. Overwhelm. This feels extremely complex and sophisticated. It feels very complex and sophisticated, multifaceted. Many layers to this, so I gotta get myself an order here. It's my overwhelm, it's my AI. I'm overwhelmed, I'm overloaded. That's how I feel right now. Overwhelmed with information. It's too sophisticated, too complex. Alright, I gotta break it down. What about one of these original questions? Try to get myself focused. How about that one? Why am I detecting this communication? why am I detecting this? These are some ideas here, but it may even be an AI survival. Survival. Warning detection. Warning detection. This feels right. Warning detection. Survival mechanism. Survival mechanism. A warning. The awareness of a major event, a breach. What else about this? This is a network of buildings, facilities. It's like a broadcast. Broadcast. Signal. Why am I detecting? I just feel it's like I reacted to it. I don't know if there's much more to that. What about describe the language of the communication? I don't know about that question, but let's give it a shot. Describe the language of the communication. Got some sensory things coming here, like bright, metallic, shiny, curved. What is the language? Something about this wording here that it's not worded right. Describe the language of the communication. Describe the... Still trying to get into this idea of the meaning of the communique. The translation. This is an idea of an ongoing communication like military. Like military. Like a military communication, or military style communication. Military style communication. What does that mean? Very organized. Very organized. Precision. No, it's like just the facts. Just the facts. Details. Details. Let me see about that. Sensory dimensions. EI. Tangible. Intangible. Details. Details like what does that mean? Like details, like select words, code words, code words. It's like a sophisticated, the feeling, it's the feeling is of a, I just keep having the same word come up, sophisticated. Code language. Sophisticated code language, like what does that mean? Try to pick up an example. How would I translate an example of that? Or one line of that code. Let me just try this. This is experimental. This is like more like stage 7, but detect one line of the code and describe one line of the code. It's like instructions. Instructions. Yeah, like that. Instructions. Like what's the instruction? Like instructions. Things to do. Things to do. The next instructions. Keeps coming out. Line by line. But what's one of the instructions though? What is feel like? What type of emotional reaction do I have from one of the lines of code instructions? Like regarding locations. Zones, areas, coordinates, they're like area codes. Area codes. Multiple areas. Multiple areas like this, like sending out instructions. Sending out instructions, coordinates or zones or areas. I'm getting these ideas of contamination. Contamination zones. What if I can? Where would those areas be? Contamination zones. That's that word, platforms. Platforms. I mean, I'm getting this idea of an actual platform. An actual platform. This is another idea. Coordinated event. I don't like that though. Let me see if I can get an idea of this. Like, oh man, this is like a command. Command center. Alright, so this is the command center. Where are my contamination zones? Or affected areas. Here. These feel like areas that are close. Even countries. Did I spell that right? Countries or these being like borders. These feel like large areas. Border, 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 but they feel close. And this breach. These are some words coming in again. Breach, containment, breach, containment. This feels like a far distance. Far distance between the command center and these areas here. I'll put this like a little, like these satellites. Picking up the signal. See, this is kind of strange here because there's more to this sensory dimensions. AI, tangible, intangible. Ale of the signal. I'm getting this idea of growing. Again, this idea of platform, standing place. Yeah, I'm getting this like image in my mind of a person standing at a platform. Talking. Growing organism. Bacteria. I'm going to end on that. 21. Very strange.